Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here for another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. Today Christy and I will be working on this awesome sketch by Brenda Ragsdale for the scraproom.com. I'm going to be changing it up just a little because I have two photos. They are landscape instead of portrait. Wow, forgot the word landscape for a second. They are of my stepfather and his brother and their best friend and then their wives. My stepfather is a widower. And at their oldest son's wedding down in South Carolina. I think it was South Carolina last fall. I'm not exactly sure when this was. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead, get you guys put on fast forward, and I'm going to start working on this. Before I do that, make sure you head on over to Christy's channel and check out her take on this sketch. I will put a link in the description box below. All right, folks, let's get going. So I'm going through seeing what I like, and then I pull up that photo at paper, and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of like this, and where it is kind of works, so I think that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just looking through the other papers, seeing if anything else I like better, and I don't. So I'm like, I think I'll go ahead and use this. And I have adored this tone-on-tone arrow paper for so long. I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to use this for the triangular pieces that are underneath the photos. Now, this is one of those layouts where I'm not sure what I'm doing half the time. So I start off and I decide I'm going to go for 3.5 inches. And I'm trimming off the branding strip for this. This paper is from the Simple and Sweet collection. And then I show you that the arrow paper is from Here and There by Crate Paper. And here's where I realize something. I'm saying to myself, I think you actually plan to use these two photos as part of a Father's Day gift. And I went and I'm like, oh, yes, indeed, I was planning on doing that. So I pull out the frame I was going to make this layout for, and I use this is mark it with my thumb type of thing. And so I'm just going to trim that paper down. So we are not doing a 12 by 12 layout. We are doing I want to say it's 9 by 9.5, something like that. So I decided to trim that arrow paper down to 3 inches because I'm afraid the 3.5 inches is going to be too big. And then I'm going to decide that the 3 inches is actually going to be too big. So instead, I trim it down to 2.5 inches, which doesn't really matter because it doesn't go very well. So I do once again mark with my thumb the length of that arrow paper. Yeah, this layout for its simplicity, and because obviously I'm working with smaller real estate, it's, you know, there isn't a ton of things I can do, and here's where I chop it down to 2.5 inches. It took me a while because I just kept messing up on things, like the whole forgetting it was supposed to be for not a non-traditional size for a frame, and then I'm going to get my angles all wrong on this arrow paper. At first, I thought, you know what, rather than, not arrow, yeah, the arrow paper. So in the sketch, it's like two triangles tucked under that photo, and I thought, well, what if I just angle the top pieces down and keep the bottom flat? But then in looking at it, I didn't like that. So I was like, okay, I'll do the arrow thing. And I cut it at the wrong angle. I don't keep the right, I don't, it's not looking good here. It's just not looking good. um and I'm sorry, I'm off screen here. All I did was I creased it with my thumb. um Ooh, I've got the windows open and someone just honked their darn horn. How rude. um so I'm gonna cut it here, and it's not the right size, it's not the right angle, it's just I'm not happy with it. It's funny because in actuality, it looks fine. But in my brain at the time I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, what is that? That is awful. And then I'm thinking, sorry, unexpected teenage arrival. So everyone went rushing to the door. Uh, so as I was saying, yeah, no, I was just I couldn't. I was like, you know what? It's a good thing I have more of this paper because I think I need to just start it over again. So I decided to go back to the 3 inches. And what I'm going to do is I trim out that gray tone on tone paper, and that's going to be the piece at the that in the original sketch is over on the right hand side. Because I flipped the sketch, it's going to run along the bottom, but I decided I really needed that visual of what's going on at the bottom in order to figure out what to do in the center. So what I end up doing is just freehand cutting, which I never do, but in this case it actually turned out pretty nice. I do have to trim it up a little bit, um, once or twice, but I'm actually much happier with this than with what I did when I measured. Just kind of freewheeling it, and it worked out far better. So what I'm doing is I'm moving it up. Now in the original sketch, that those triangular pieces were closer to the bottom of the photo, or well, to the side of one of the photos. I have it more in the center, basically because I'm going horizontally rather than vertically. I've got that weird bump in the center, and if I didn't do it that way, it would leave an odd gap, and I don't want to have an odd gap, people. So I'm going to get it down crookedly. So I'm going to re-put it down, and then it is nice. And now I'm going to go ahead and get those pieces down there at the bottom. And I'm actually really happy with the way this turned out. I think it turned out really cute. I am not ashamed to give it as a gift. So whew, thank goodness for that. Nothing worse than like spending, time making something for someone and then looking at it going, I can't give this to this person. They'll laugh at me. Um, not that he would laugh. Um, but you have that own fear in your brain. So now I'm cleaning up because I'm gonna start embellishing, but I have a lot of embellishments for this particular Wild Hare kit, so I wanted to make sure I had enough room. So I'm using this Color Cast Design wood veneer file tab, and at first I put it at the top, but I realized I'm going to have that bulldog clip at the top, and then having that bulldog clip with the file tab right next to it would look odd, so I decided I'm going to move it over to the left-hand side as well. Now I do have both the ephemera pack and the sticker book from the Amy Tangerine Shine On kit, uh, Shine On line that was part of this kit. And so I'm going through and pulling various things. I've got this craft gold foil floral piece I'm going to trim in half and use on the upper left hand photo, and then the lower right hand photo as well. I'm going to layer the file tab over the upper left hand one. I'm auditioning that love, love, love. That was not originally what I thought I would use. I thought I would use something like family or friends and family or something along those lines, but I liked the size of it and how it nestled right there in next to the father of the groom, who is my stepfather, who's in the center of that bottom photo, and then his older brother, who's all the way over on the right hand side of that photo. So, um, but I like the way that didn't make sense. But I was trying when I was doing the introductions, I realized I didn't tell you when I said it. When I pointed to the people on the left hand side of the photo, their sons, that's my stepfather and my uncle's best friend and his wife, whom I've known since I was a teenager. Um, they've known the three guys have actually known each other since they were preschoolers. So, all right, as I've been nattering on, I did go into these Project Life chipboard stickers that came with the kit, and there are circular ones with yellow and orange flowers on them, and I thought they were really cute. They were the right size, and I wanted a little depth to this, so I add that. I'm going to add some of these clear stickers that are gold foiled. I also added that Enjoy the Moment with 2 cardstock heart stickers down at the bottom, along with another of the chipboard stickers from the Project Life thing. I'm actually almost done here. I'm just going to add a piece of flair that also came in my Wild Hare Kit. It is a Potty People Polaroid photo flare. And then the last thing I'm going to do before I'm completely done is add some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I managed to get it on my photo even though I cover them up because I'm awesome. All right, folks, make sure you head on over and check out Christy's take on this sketch. And if you stay through to the end, I do show you a photo of the layout in the frame as it's going to be given as a gift. All right, thanks so much for watching. Flick me a thumbs up if you can, and hey, if you like what you see, subscribe. All right, bye everyone.